Hello, and welcome to the Palm Beach Zoo in Florida. I'm Mike Terrell, General Curator. Today, we're going to talk about koalas. Here at the Palm Beach Zoo, we have two Queensland koalas that call the zoo their home, Katherine, and this big guy here, Oz. So let's go say g'day, mate, to the koalas that live here at the zoo and learn more about their family in the wild. In some ways, koalas are just like humans. They hang out in neighborhoods, eat, sleep, and relax. At Palm Beach Zoo's koala forest habitat, you'll find Oz and Katherine munching on eucalyptus and settling in for a snooze. Outside of zoos, these amazing creatures are found only in Australia, where they live in native eucalyptus forests filled with their favorite food, eucalyptus leaves. Just like in the wild, koalas only eat eucalyptus. So, what if their entire food source was compromised or destroyed? Unfortunately, that's what happened in Australia's devastating wildfires. The world watched as bushfires ravaged Victoria and New South Wales, Australia. Koalas' limited diet of eucalyptus makes their metabolism very slow, and in turn, their movement slow as well. This made it difficult for them to escape when brush fires were uncontrolled throughout the provinces they call home. The human connection to these cute, cuddly creatures is undeniable. Palm Beach Zoo is one of a limited number of AZA-accredited zoos who have koalas in our care. While the world was tuning in to the devastation in Australia, the national media came right to Palm Beach Zoo's experts. Our own Director of Animal Health, Dr. Kathleen Woody, appeared on Headline News, and zoologist Tabitha was interviewed by several local news agencies as top koala care professionals. The emotional effects of the fires were felt globally. What could we do to help?
So with the wildfires in Australia, we were watching it pretty closely. And coming into work, it did make us very emotional because we see Oz and Katherine every day. We know that they're safe and sound, and both of them actually do have ancestors and probably recent relatives that live in Australia and Queensland, and watching what was happening with them was very emotional.
Palm Beach Zoo immediately set up a donation page so our staff, zoo members, and the community could safely give toward reputable organizations helping with Australia's relief efforts. The Zoo's Victoria Bushfires Wildlife Emergency Fund was vetted and chosen by the zoo. The three zoos that make up Zoos Victoria were asked to deploy members of their animal care and veterinary teams to the front lines of the bushfires, and we are proud to support them. It takes specialized animal care facilities and trained experts to provide medical and nutritional assistance for koalas. At the same time, two elementary school students, Layla and Kaya, were looking to make a difference and began raising funds for koala rescue and rehabilitation in Australia. The zoo team was so moved by their efforts selling homemade bracelets that we invited these activists to meet Katherine and Oz so that they could see firsthand who they were helping. It was a meaningful day for all of us to see a younger generation care so deeply and spring into action for wildlife. After many tenuous months, the fires are no longer burning in Australia, and the koalas, other Australian wildlife, and the land are starting to heal. The eucalyptus trees are showing new growth, and the first koalas are being returned to the wild. Some of the first koalas rescued were recently released back into the wild in the park in Australia's Blue Mountains. The groups were rehabilitated at the Taronga Zoo in Sydney in partnership with San Diego Zoo Global and released back to the same forest they once called home, sometimes to the very same tree. They have been fitted with radio trackers, which will help researchers learn more about these koalas and help in the reestablishment of a healthy population. There is hope for koalas, yet it's still a long road ahead. After getting these animals to a healthy state and ready to be re-released back into the wild, major survival needs including a reliable food source. With the damage the bushfires did to the forests, there are limited trees left, which means a lot of competition for territory and food. Since koalas only eat one type of food, there is no flexibility to switch to another. It's eucalyptus or nothing, making them very susceptible to issues that cause habitat loss, such as climate change, drought, and bushfires. Habitat restoration of the entire ecosystem will be needed to help bring back koalas and all of the other wildlife that was lost. Also, just like Floridians must be vigilant when driving through panther territory, Australians should be aware that vehicle strikes commonly kill koalas. We must do everything possible to sustain this population in the wild and ensure a thriving future for these peaceful creatures. Oz and Katherine are true ambassadors for their species, and we hope that you will connect with their stories and the ongoing healing of koalas in the wild. So what did you learn today about koalas? Let us know in the comments. And if you're inspired to act on behalf of koalas and all wildlife, we ask that you support the Palm Beach Zoo at palmbeachzoo.org/support. So for Oz, Katherine, their entire global family, and all of us here at the Palm Beach Zoo, we thank you for joining us today for Palm Beach Zoo to You. We hope to see you soon at the zoo.